there, staycationers. It's Marilyn here with your tool tip for this time. I am going to go over a few things on how I cut my layers for cardstock for making our regular A2 cards. So to begin with, you do need a cutting tool that will give you measurements. And this particular one from Stampin Up does have inches and centimeters. Not that I use the centimeters, but it does have them. It has a cutting groove here that works well for cutting or scoring, and it has an arm that extends for quite a ways. So when you go to, one of the best things I find is score once, cut twice. No, that's not right. Score once, get 2 cards. So when you have a piece of cardstock, which is your 8.5 by 11, if you want to make 2 cards a regular way, you would score it at 4 1/4. And the light colored one on here, you can see I've got score written on it, is for scoring. So if I score it first, and then I cut it at 5 1/2, which is half of my 11, in effect, I have 2 card bases that go landscape. As well, if you want to do it the other way around, just make sure you've got the right blade and score it at 5 1/2. And then if you cut at 4 1/4, which is half of your cardstock this way, you have 2 that go this way. So that's all I'm going to get into for the cutting tool at this point. When you go to fold and burnish, your score line is here, so that means it has stretched the fibers of the paper there. So I always fold with the raised side on the inside. Line it up, because even though you've scored it, it may not be quite exact. And use my bone folder for getting a nice flat card. Same thing on here. Again, I'm looking, okay, I've stretched the fibers here. I am going to fold this way and use my bone folder to make that nice crease. So I have cards like this. Next layer, what I like to do for my layers is 1/4 of an inch less. So here's a piece of designer paper that is 1/4 inch less. So it would be 4 by 5 1/4. And then I just happen to have this paper here. So I am going to cut, which way do I want it? I want the 5 1/4. Only I'm going down another 1/4. I'm going to go 5 by 3 3/4, and that will give me a larger border around. I like to have the same border on all sides, kind of thing. So to help me do that, I have created from retired cardstock this tool that I have sitting on my desk. And you can see it starts at 5 1/4, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So that's your full size, which if you lay it on here, it would be like that. Then if you want to know what sizes are going to look like, here is the 5 by 3 3/4. So that gives you how much. If you want to do something else and have maybe a layer on top of here that has just for your greeting, this would give you 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. So it gives you a visual of the layers. And like I say, I just took retired cardstock. I have typed up labels on my computer, and I put the sizes so that I can go and just pick whatever and say, oh yeah, that looks like what I want it to, and go from there. So And I've got them on a ring, so I could take them out and use them if I wanted to otherwise. So I'll just show you a few cards that are done with those layers so you can see what it looks like. This would be the first layer, the second layer, and each of them are a 1/4 inch smaller on that one. Same idea here. And as you can see, I prefer that. This one's a little bit narrower, so it would be 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around, and then another 1/8 of an inch. Here's another one with just designer paper and a 1/4 of an inch, and then I've done a square, virtually triple layers here. And this one as well has a really narrow, the black would be a 1/4 inch smaller, but then the white is only 1/8 of an inch smaller there. So just to give you some idea of how I do the layers. It's not carved in stone that you have to by any means, but it works for me. And I thought maybe it would work for you. So my tool here, like I say, is always on my desk. The other thing I have on my desk is a card box from a kit that I bought a long time ago with everything in it. And I cut usually a package of basic white. I will cut into this size, which is the first layer, the 5 1/4 by 4, and that's what I use for the inside of my cards. And then it's sitting on my desk as well in this box, and I have it whenever I need it. So it's ready to go, and I've always got an insert for the inside of my card. So there's lots of other ideas for how to cut your paper, but for me, this works great. If you need help with getting this done, or even the list of the numbers, I do have them, and I will certainly share them with you. Take care now. Enjoy your day.